Okay, so today I want to talk about sleep tips. So I wrote a blog last week titled Mastering the Art of Sleep, 7 Tips for a Restful Night. So I just want to talk about that. I put 7 tips, but I actually came up with another tip, so it will be 8 tips. And so if you know me, you may know me. Somebody who doesn't sleep at night. It's not, I really suffered from insomnia for quite a long time, really almost all my lives until about 45. There, now I can go to sleep, but I wake up really early in the morning. So maybe I don't sleep very much, and I'm a self-confessed night owl, so I don't get tired at night. So I can stay up and up and up, and really every night I have to force myself to go to bed. So sleep is something I actually think about quite a lot. So today I'm sharing the tips I gathered from my experience, but primarily more about following the recent researches. So there's more than just not to drink coffee. There's a lot more interesting scientific tips. So please listen to the end if this is a very interesting topic for you. So tip number 1, embrace morning light. So if you want to sleep well, it starts from the morning. So we all have something called circadian rhythm. So it's 24-hour kind of natural body clock. So that's how our body naturally wake up in the morning, sleep at night. That's cycle. So you want to set this clock right. Otherwise, when you have bad jet lag, you just cannot sleep at all at night. That thing could happen if the circadian rhythm is messed up. So you want to set this rhythm right. So best thing you can do is to get as much light as possible in early part of the day. So if you get up, if you go for a walk, or maybe if you even do some, if you work in the office, if you work by the windows, then that's really helpful. In winter, I recently bought quite inexpensive therapy light box. I paid maybe £25. So I have this light box in the morning in winter. So that mimics the daylight. Okay, number 2 is limit coffee to the morning. So if you love drinking coffee, then there's no need to feel guilty or no need to stop, because there's loads of scientific evidence now. It's almost conclusive that coffee is actually good for you. There's lots of health benefit in drinking coffee. So there's no need to give up drinking coffee. But there is caffeine in coffee. So you may want to keep it to the earlier part of the day if you are suffering from sleeplessness at night. Most of the sleep researchers say that they don't drink coffee at all. So there is a good reason that you keep that to the mornings. Okay, number 3, exercise early. So exercise is really good for you in many ways, apart from good for the health, good for everything else. Exercise is good for your sleep, partly because it helps to reduce the anxiety. But if you exercise too late in the day, it may overstimulate your body, and also it's related to this circadian rhythm I talked earlier. So you may want to keep your exercise to early part of the day, maybe in the morning if it's possible. If you can exercise outside in the morning. That's really, really good, but not always possible in Britain. My favorite in the summer is to practice yoga early in the morning. And that's really, I think that's a really good thing to do for your sleep pattern. Okay. And number 4, body temperature needs to drop. So when my son was a baby, my mother visited from Japan, and she was holding my son, and she was touching his hand and said, "Oh, his hand is getting warm, he's going to fall asleep." And there's some truth in that. So when you fall asleep, the body temperature drops, but your hands and feet get warm. So for this reason, having warm bath or shower before going to bed may help by reducing the body temperature. Also, wearing bed socks and hot water bottle may be helpful. Okay. And number 5 is eat early. Okay, this may relate to this actually relates to the circadian rhythm thing I talked about. So if you eat too late in the morning, too late at night, then your blood have to go to your abdomen to digest the food. So it creates lots of heat in the body. So it creates your body temperature have difficult time dropping, and also your circadian rhythm thing. It's middle of the day. So ideally, you don't eat 3 hours before you go to bed. Okay. This is very, very difficult for me because I work in the evening, but I'm just trying to manage it now. Okay. And number 6 is limit screen time before bed. So you have heard about blue light effect. So this blue light you get from screens, that might be stimulating your brain, so you may find it difficult to sleep. Also, depending on what you watch, I suppose, what you read. But if you read news or watch videos, then they may overstimulate, making it hard to sleep. So instead, if you can meditate, or if you can listen to soothing music, or if you do breath practice, then they are proven to ease anxiety and hopefully helps you to sleep better. And number 7, prioritize your sleep. So this is something I really need to shout about to myself primarily, because often when my alarm goes off, first thing I think is, I should have gone to bed earlier. Then second thing I think about is, I'm going to bed early tonight, which never happens. So set your alarm clock on the phone for the bedtime, so you know that it's time to go to bed, it's time to get ready to go to bed. And set the computer to dim, so when the time comes, computer dimmed, so that you know that it's time to go to sleep. But also it wouldn't stimulate your brain so much if you dim your computer. So these are really, so prioritize. So go to bed early, to go to bed at the same time every night. This making the rhythm of the day. Again, circadian rhythm. It's really important to help a good sleep pattern. And number 8, this is something I forgot to put in the blog, but it's really important. If you still cannot sleep, or if you gone to sleep, then you wake up in an hour or 2, then you can't go back to sleep, then the recommendation now is to get out of bed and do something soothing, like read a book or listen to quiet music for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and hopefully you can go back to sleep. So the biggest reason a person cannot sleep is the anxiety. Because you suffer from anxiety, you suffer from stress. That's why you cannot sleep. And not sleeping causes anxiety too. So if you cannot sleep, you start thinking, oh, I'll be so tired. I have so much to do. And that creates more and more anxiety. So get out of bed, do something else. Take your mind off for a little while. Go back to bed. Hopefully it helps. It does help me. If I do that, I always fall back to sleep. Okay, so these are my tips for your good night's sleep. If you want to read in my blog, then if you go to my profile link, then there's blog link. So if you go to, blog is titled Mastering the Art of Sleep, 7 Tips for Restful Night. You can read there. Okay, and also I made a freebie for everybody. So it comes with the 5 tips for beautiful mornings. The beautiful morning tips, how to start your day beautifully, how to start your day in the very positive mood. So you get the checklist for these 5 tips, and you also get accompanying short yoga video. So that's day 1. Then day 2, day 3, you get more yoga free gift. So if you're interested in, please sign up. I think you'll find the sign up link if you go to my profile link.